Hey Zane, what are you doing?
I am getting ready to see Gregory Alan Isakov tonight at the Imperial in Vancouver. And, as though that's not exciting enough, he has agreed to do a little pre-show interview with me in just about a half an hour, so that's pretty exciting. And Stead is clearly pretty excited too. Gregory Alan Isakov is a singer-songwriter, folk musician. He was born in Johannesburg, South Africa, but he currently lives in Colorado, and he's currently on tour and is in Vancouver right now. Bam!
Well, Grace, she's gone, she's a half-written poem. She wound out the cigarettes and came home. And I swallowed the sun and screamed and wailed straight down to the dirt so I could find her trail spread out across the great divide. I just gonna talk St. Valentine. I never pictured you living here with the rats on the vine. Ain't that my old heart hanging out on your line?
Hello?
Hey, it's Zane from Van Arts.
How's it going?
Great, thanks. How about you?
Good, thanks.
Great. I'm going to keep this super brief. I know you have to be on stage in just a couple of hours, so let's get right to it. So we had to add a second show here in Vancouver. That's tonight, and you're all sold out in Calgary as well. Do you think that there's a reason that you have such a prominent Canadian following?
I don't know. We don't get a chance to come up there very much. Every time we've played up there, I love it. For some reason, we just haven't had too many shows in Canada.
So just lack of exposure, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know, yeah.
And when and why did you start creating music?
You know, I've always played music, probably since I was a kid, because I felt like I had to, you know. It was like my release of art, the way I see the world, the way I deal with the world. Never thought I'd get to play it in front of other people. I'm still kind of getting used to that. That's still a little bit mind-blowing. But yeah, I think I've always written songs and played, and, you know, I kind of only started playing outside of my kitchen probably right before my first record came out in 2007.
Now, you also have a passion for the outdoors, and you studied horticulture. Did you have to take a break from music to do so, or did the two things coexist nicely?
I kind of mainly did that. I got jobs at these farms in Colorado, and, you know, in the wintertime, really cool owners that owned the place where I was living. I would kind of go on these little tours to Montana or Washington. And I wouldn't have to pay rent while I was gone. And then I'd work the summer mostly. Yeah, I think music was something I was always working. Garden for me, it was just like something you did every day, you know.
And is it difficult to sustain your farm while you're on tour?
It's a juggle, you know. I'm learning a lot about it. You know, we don't play like a lot of festivals, so that helps. I pretty much like block off the main part of the season, so like mid-May to like mid-October, and then the rest of the year we're pretty gone. We're pretty much out.
Now, I mean, you've always been a very prominent name on my playlist, but you recently re-emerged with your performance and recording with the Colorado Symphony. Can you tell me a bit about that process and what motivated it?
It was a series of shows we did with the Colorado Symphony. We ended up doing about 14 shows with different symphonies across the country. It was amazing. It took a lot of work writing the scores. You know, I think the scores took about 6 months to a year. Kind of just songs that we'd been playing live and a couple new ones. And originally it was going to be a live show in Denver, and then we were mixing it, and I did a reference. I referenced some rehearsal tapes, and I was like, I like how these sound better. So we went back last summer and recorded it again in front of nobody. I just liked how you could hear the space. So we ended up just recording all the songs, you know, again, live, and then mixed it back at our studio.
I was actually introduced to your new rendition of Amsterdam by the show Girls on HBO, which I also hold to a very high regard of artistic integrity. When you write your songs, do you think of them as soundtrack material from the get-go? Or
Yeah, I mean, that's a really big goal of mine. It rarely happens. I've always been interested in that, you know. Like whenever I'm watching a movie, I'm listening to the music all the time. I love that collaboration, you know.
Amsterdam, she has not howling wind. She's waving high, her other hands in mine.
Now, branching off of that, and you're probably so sick of hearing this, I actually discovered you through a McDonald's commercial in my sophomore year of university. Can you tell me a bit about that? Because you had a bit of an interesting take on that in regards to the proceeds.
Oh, I never hear that. That's awesome. And actually, that commercial happened when we were up in Lee's Palace in Ontario, in Toronto. We played an opening set for Blind Pilot, and there's these two filmmakers, and they said, hey, we'd love to use one of your songs for a commercial we're working on. And I was like, cool. And they were like, well, you know, it's been hired to make it for McDonald's. And I was like, I don't know about that. I'm sort of like an organic farmer. That'd be kind of weird. And they were like, well, this is the budget. It's, you know, it's kind of a lot of money. And I was like, yeah, it still feels kind of weird, but thank you. It's so nice. And the band and I went home for like the winter, and we were like, well, you know, what if we just said yes and just did some cool stuff with the proceeds? So we ended up doing it and donating a lot of the money to all these organic farming companies and organizations, and it ended up being really cool. I loved it.
And not to pressure you, but can we expect an album anytime soon?
Yeah, we've been working on one for a while. I would say the past 500 or 600 years. But yeah, we're working on it this summer, trying to finish it this summer. We've been working on it for about a year.
Gotcha. And no ETA on that, hey?
Yeah, I don't like to have one of those because it doesn't seem productive, because I know I'm going to work on it every day, and when it's done, I'll know it's done, and then it's done.
All right.